So we've got in the purple we've got Easy Livin', and he's rocking the melee. That's interesting. Okay, I don't think we've seen them before in this tournament.
Yeah.
And then the red right behind him, we've got Bearded Korean as the Italians. And then way over on the left-hand side in the yellow, we've got HMD, and he's playing as the Romans.
Hey, and I'll just
So
jump in quickly
yeah,
to say that yeah, thanks so much, and yeah, I'll be talking a little bit less in this stream, but thankfully we got Tarhunt here, who will kind of do this most of the stream. But just to say that so team the cool colors on the left side, Rupinfish, they've actually already advanced because they won their first two games. But if they win this, they're first in the group. So team West is already through, but Team East has to stay in the tournament. They have to win this game to stay in the tournament. So yeah, so it's a really interesting dynamic.
sorry. Team West has already advanced, or Team
Yeah,
East?
Team West has already advanced. So
Oh, so Sins of the Night has already advanced.
no, let me say that again. Rupinfish is on the western side, the cool colors, right?
Yeah, they're east and south.
I'm sorry, they're south. No, they're only south. They're south. It's
Yeah, they're
pretty
pretty much just south. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
they're
Yeah,
south. I'm
yeah,
gonna say it's Team
yeah.
South and Team
So
North. Sorry
they're
about that. Just to finish though, just
no,
to finish.
yep,
It's that
yeah.
so Team South has already won two games, and if they win this, then they're gonna be in top of the group. But they're already through, so they're automatically second already. But Team North needs to win this game to stay in the tournament. So, and then Team North is Team Sins of the Night. Right. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'll pass it
yeah,
back.
got it. No, that's yeah. Thanks for clear. Yeah, I'd forgotten that they'd actually won two games already, so they're clearly through. Yeah, so yeah, I'll just quickly introduce them and then talk about the map. So we've got Izuru in the blue, and he's playing as a Spanish, and then in the teal, we've got Andrew Pins as the Poles, and then we've got in the green, we've got Fenris as the Mongols, and as you can see, it's on the China map. This is the probably the best of the real world maps, and we're seeing already a different spawn than we have seen in the other games that we've seen on this map, and it's already more interesting because we have almost a like the other games. The water was pretty decisive. You know, one team got the spawn next to the ocean with most of the fish, and that gave them an advantage in the game that was difficult to recover from for the teams that were behind in those games. This time, actually, we have both teams with two players on the water, so that's much more evenly balanced. And then they each have two players tucked away, sort of against the side of the map, away from the water. But what's really interesting about these spawns, I find, is that it's kind of different what's defined as the pocket versus the flanks. There really is only one flank that's sort of blue against purple, and then we essentially have two pockets for each team, and then this wide open space in the middle. So we'll see like how much they skirmish there, whether they sort of ride around with cavalry trying to find each other and do some raiding, or if they focus all of their efforts on the water and on this frontline flank.
Yeah, maybe I'll just say quickly that I think you're totally right, and this spawning is much better than the usual one that we've had, East versus West. Like, if we can get more of this, that'd be great.
Yeah, if we could just guarantee this, that'd be great. Maybe at some point I'll learn a bit more about map scripting to do it, but yeah, it all takes time. So it looks like we have our first two feudal ages coming up on each side. So we've got both. Actually, it's the no, it's not the pockets. It's blue and green. So teal is he's a little slower up. Yeah, that's right. He's poles, so he needs a bit more wood to get that full work up. He's getting onto the gold. He's got some idols there. But yeah, he's going up a little later. All of the warm colors are now up. And we have this, oh, we've seen this so many times. This unfortunate first dock positioning from the player in this position, either in this position or again, yeah, here, another one. Players seem to be just running out to the water and not realizing that they're on the river in these positions. So the first dock is not giving a good position for the fish, but red in this case has built a second, and that's a much better position. Purple still has to build one, maybe, out here on one of these peninsulas to get a little better positioning.
Maybe I'll say something quickly.
Yeah.
Is that you're right about that position for red, but I'll just say that so Team East does have, or sorry, Team North, they have equal access to the water, so it'll be really interesting to see what happens there in terms of
Yeah.
water domination and raiding.
Yeah, I love that we're seeing this spawn on this map. Like this is much better. This is much more interesting as and I think the players will feel much better about it too, because it doesn't feel good to just like at the RNG where you don't have access to the water and kind of being on the back foot from that. It is worth mentioning though that it's gone now, but there was one deep sea fish, and there's a little puddle that yellow can take advantage of here. And you're seeing also that green is also docking and getting some of these shorefish early on, that's a good idea. It's just a little bit of extra eco early on. And those can do some fish traps maybe later on, or you can send a Vil out to the ocean and put a dock there. But we're seeing our first galleys coming out from red now. So he's going to be looking for those fish. And blue also is getting some galleys out. Both opted for galleys rather than fire galleys,
That's
which is
an interesting foreshadow that I just mentioned that, and now we already see a sea battle.
yeah. No, I find it's interesting how this is kind of like a switch in the meta where people start they're opting more for galleys to go because the galleys have that bonus now against fishing boats. I don't know how long they've had it. But it's really good to just jump in there and snipe some fishing ships. And then if you've sniped enough, like you really don't need to fight for water supremacy. You really just need to hamper their economy. But actually looks like red is really opting to build up his mass. So blue, he's a bit behind. So he's got to drop some more docks or get some help from one of his allies if he wants to hold this out. Otherwise, this is going to start getting difficult. Okay, so he's bringing a Vil over. That's getting sniped. Oh, and look at that. Bearded Korean snipes the repairing villager. And now he's going to go rally with his... and purple already has a fire galley over here. So early advantage on the water for the warm colors. So the cold color fishing ships are now in danger. So they've got to figure out what to do about that. Another thing I wanted to mention is that we're seeing that green has walled off a lot of these shallows. So now has a completely protected base on his side. And we're seeing the beginning of that from yellow. Actually, no, he's almost oh, there's a gap. So he's walled these shallows over here, and he's walled over by some of his tech buildings. But there's a gap. Just a nice clean line right next to the wall. Okay,
which one do you mean, Taran?
Yellow. Yellow has a gap that right on the left-hand side where somebody could ride through.
Oh no.
So that's he needs to test that wall just to make sure. But red is hunting down blue's fishing ships, so this is already proving to be a strong early advantage. He's microing down, he's not losing track of these, so he's going to find them and kill them all. So those are sunk. So taking advantage of that early water advantage. Meanwhile, we have some scouts coming from Andrew Pintz, just a couple, looking to get some raiding done. Those have come all the way up from the south. And he might poke around here, but purple is already ready with some spears, so it doesn't look like those will get that much damage done unless he doesn't notice. And then we also have, sorry, I missed this. We also have Zuru. He's already got some scouts raiding. So there's a double scout raid happening on purple. And red is invested on the water, so he's not going to be able to help. So it's up to Easy Livin to use his spears and hold off. But he's up to castle. So, and it looks like we've got... do we have everybody except for blue and red are up to castle? Blue lost the water, so he's behind. But he is up to castle. Everybody is going to reach castle within the next minute. And we'll see what they do from there. I'm checking to see if anybody's on stone, if anybody wants to drop any castles. We've already got teal with 2 extra town centers. The same with HMD up in the corner. So they're booming. And then green is, what's he tucking into? Not seeing the tech just yet. Easy 11 adding another TC up here on this. Look at this stone. By the way, it's almost making a wall itself. Yeah, so he's dropping a TC on that. Makes a lot of sense. Oh, and we've got elephants coming in. So Easy's invested his some early food and gold into 5 melee elephants. So obviously are extra cheap. So, and he's going to push them against Blue, who's already kind of on the back foot, having lost the water.
Tarrant, who do you mean has the elephants?
Easy Living is coming in with melee elephants, battle elephants.
I see that.
Yeah, so battle elephants coming in. This is dangerous. This is going to cause real problems. Blue's already bringing out some pikes. He'll probably need like, I don't know, like 8 or 10 of them to deal with these at least. Only 1 barracks, so yeah, he's walling off. He's gonna try to stall here. Oh, that's unfortunate. He invested in 1 more galley, but that galley's not going to be able to do anything. Okay, so green is opting for manga dye. He's going to get that manga dye volume out. Yeah, so is teal going to help? So yellow is now in on teal's base with a couple of 3 knights. And he's going to start raiding that early pole economy. Just going to waste some time, idle some villagers. Probably won't get that many kills. But the real question is, who's going to come help Blue?
I would say that my perspective right now is that Blue needs to put some serious thought into potentially evacuating if he has to. He has some pikes there.
He's got pikes, yeah.
Elephants, but yeah, he's in a tough spot. He should probably send a couple villagers into the teal green crescent over there.
Yeah, he should make sure he has some vills over there just in case. But at the moment, it looks like teal sent some knights over. Those will help, but I mean, battle elephants are really good against knights. They just everything in the melee except for pikes they really deal with. But look at this, really great engagement on these battle elephants. So yes, there's some idle time there for Blue, but he's managing to hold on. But the elephants are still coming, and Purple is going to keep pushing those elephants in. And Blue has actually a really unfortunate base position. He has hills that are basically perfect for attackers. So if there's a follow-up from the warm colors with a castle drop, that could be really potent, but they're not on stone, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. Meanwhile, the warm colors have completely taken the water, and Teal's fishing boats have been taken out, and it looks like we're going to have galleys along the coastline, so it's going to be really hard to drop some docks and retake that. So they're going to have to just opt on, to focus on the land completely. And
one thing I'll mention quickly is I see that Teal has some knights in Purple's base, and I'm surprised that he's not using them to raid a bit more. I guess as I said that, he's moving them now, so hopefully he can do a little bit of counter damage, given that Blue has been really hit hard.
Yeah. Yeah, those were... I mean, I'm sure he would have preferred to have raided the whole time, but he had to help Blue sort of deal with some of those elephants. Blue looks like he's stabilized, though, and he's dropping a castle here. It's not on the high ground, it's actually in the valley, but it's a good position. It'll cover basically everything he needs it to cover. So for now, he will be able to stay safe. But he is behind economically. He lost his early fish, he invested on water and lost that water. Interestingly, we have some monks coming out for Teal. This is a good answer to the ships. If he can just like start dropping conversions on these ships, he'll force them away from the water, and then just getting rid of the warm colors control on the water. And we have stone walls coming up on the north shallows.
One thing I'll mention is that I'm seeing now
that Green keep got inside of yellow's base in the south.
Oh yeah, good call. Right, yeah, he got through that hole. The Mangadai got through.
Look at that.
Oh, that's yeah, that's why you check the walls. Oh boy, that's brutal. I was gonna say, like, yellow has 5 TCs, so he's just going utter, bonkers macro. So, at some point he might be killing enough villagers to bring yellow back down. Okay, Green has to kill 30 villagers to bring yellow back down to where he is. So, I mean, yes, this is bad, but yellow has been booming like crazy. But he will have to deal with this. This is really annoying. But he's doing a good job of reacting to it. He hasn't lost too many villagers considering how much he's booming. But green is also dropping extra TCs. And okay, so it looks like we now have one mangonel coming forward with the elephants. We've got some conquistadors now out for blue. So he dropped that castle, he dropped some conks. He can use them to micro around. He'll actually get this mangonel if he micros properly. Yeah, and you got it. Took one hit, but conks are pretty tough.
So, folks, one interesting
and a castle
thing,
coming up on the front. Yeah.
Just to mention that one interesting thing is that teal and green have walled themselves off in the bottom left, which is what you should do when you have both those positions. Interestingly, though, red does have those warships, so he's making holes in the walls. So the bottom base is actually open now to raiding if Team North thinks of it. Meanwhile,
that's a great observation. Yeah.
Green continues
sending.
to raid.
He's sending. Sending ships up the rivers is a good idea if you have water control. Looks like we got some knights out for yellow that are dealing with these knights now. And it's important to mention, like, we're seeing, 5 TCs for 2 players now, teal and yellow. That's because this is a 300 max population game. So there's plenty of supply to boom into. We can see these players easily going up to 200 villagers at maxed out economy. So teal is doing a really strong boom. So is yellow, and okay, interesting. So I think yellow did wall this off. There you go. You walled off that little gap, but then green sent some Mangudai up to the northern shallows as reinforcements and helped those Mangudai that were being chased by knights. So he's going to be able to. Well, he saved 2 of them, but now he's back in with some more Mangudai. So generally just being annoying, and yellow has had to reinvest to get some knights out, and so his boom has been slowing down. He's only at 100 now. I'm sure he could have been like much higher than that if he didn't have to reinvest into those knights.
Teal is doing an interesting job of raiding purple. So this means that purple's push on blue is slowed down. So that's really interesting there that teal is active. Blue, though, unfortunately, he only has 2 TCs so far. So we'll see if he can manage to rebound from his early hit.
Yeah, blue is. It really looks like his days are numbered in this position, because we've got this, this powerhouse economy in the south building, and then in the west and the north for the warm colors. But blue is really out here on his own, and having been weakened, the hammer is going to come down at some point in the next 5 to 10 minutes, I think. Red coming in with some of his galleys, war galleys now, up the river, and teal wasn't getting much done with his knights, and I wonder if he heard the conversions from a couple of purple monks there, so he's backing out and just conserving those knights.
I would say that
purple has also pulled back his elephants. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I would say that teal should use those knights if he can. I mean, it's a bit risky because then he exposes blue, but if he used them to raid red, he could raid red, because if you see the top of red's base is not walled off, so he could raid red, actually. We'll see if he does it, but...
Yeah. It's just, it hurts to lose any to conversions, so...
No, I'm not talking about purple, I'm talking about red.
No, I know, but like as they ride by, right? So
you have to ride around. You don't ride through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They've done a good job of walling off. They've got stone there, so there's a castle from purple slowly working through that front line. Meanwhile, green is still in yellow's base, just being annoying. Yellow has managed to wall off stone in a couple of spots. Still some palisade areas, and green microing those around. This looks like a good sizable chunk of cavalry that's going to deal with those Mangudai, though. So tech check, we've got 2 Imperial Ages and 1 more. So warm colors, we've got 2 already in the Imperial Age. Yellow's almost there as well. So actually, both of the purple and red that are up north, they're both in the Imperial Age now. So the attack on blue is coming soon. Blue did click up, but it's going to be a while before he gets there. And where did he click up?
Speaking of
Bottom
attack
piece,
on
okay.
blue, we see the first trebuchet hit is hitting his castle right now.
Yep. Yeah, so that's that's coming in. So where's his tech up? Okay, so it's in this town center. That should be okay, right? 30% and the castle's still up. He should be okay there. Yeah, but the army's coming. It's going to be arbalists and battle elephants, and Genoese crossbows from the Italian in red. So blue at some point will have to bail, and his teammates are probably telling him, they should be telling him at some point, like, get some backup villagers away from the front, because at the moment there's not enough here to stop this.
Yeah, there's no point
especially these
dying.
archers are they're gonna shred any pikes, and then if there's no pikes, then the elephants have free reign.
Look what Green's doing. He's going into Red's base, as I had thought he should.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yep, found a weak palisade entrance, got through. We lost one on the way in. So the battle has started, and here we see this really unlucky hill positioning around Blue's base. Really just... how do you deal with that? Your starting TC is surrounded by hills. So, I mean, they are rallying here. We've got blue and teal have something of a force here. And green has come in here to distract red. And he's actually putting in a lot of work on these villagers behind. Yeah, we've got a panic castle coming up here. Green will see it. So you're going to stop those. Yep, he's going to deny that. That's going to get stopped. Yep, so red having a lot of trouble in his economy. But blue's not doing much better.
Notice, though, that yellow is now sending cavaliers in the direction of green. So we'll see how that plays into the balance.
Yeah, Roman cavaliers. So with that charge up attack, those things are pretty good. And Andrew Pintz, okay, so he's engaging on the elephant. Okay, he needs to not engage on these elephants yet. He's got a couple of monks in here. I haven't seen any conversions, but actually monks are actually a really great idea against these elephants. The engagement has started. And there are pikes in here doing some work. It might be that the cold colors might just have the numbers to deal with this. They're not going to be able to kill this archer force, but they're going to deal with the elephants. And we've got the cavalier upgrade coming in clutch at the last second.
I think we had the elite elephant upgrade come in as well.
Yeah, and those Genoese are just shredding the cavaliers. So this army is still coming forward. I actually I don't know how to check if Heal has his Polish upgrade to make these knights cheaper. Skirmisher Knight is a good answer to this. But purple's coming in, he's dropping a castle right smack in the middle of blue's base.
Yeah, I really think that blue should do like an evac, send all his villagers over, at least to the western side of his base there. I'll just mention as well, I'm seeing that yellow has dropped some docks on the river next to green, so we'll see if he does like a weird transport thing or something.
Oh, he's making dromons! The Romans with the dromons. Okay. Oh, that's actually a good choice. He's going to be able to take out these castles. He's got knights here. And meanwhile, the Mangudai in the back of Red's base were cleared up by a group of arbalists. But guess what? Those arbalists are not on the front line. And now we have a charge forward from the Polish knights. And they might be able to use that temporary numbers advantage to clear this up.
Yeah, I think the Mangudai actually evacuated. They're coming south now. They're going to purple, I think, actually.
Yeah. Oh, and if he parks these on the shallows here, he can cut off all the reinforcements.
Yep. Oh, wow.
Being tactically very good with these Mangudai. But he's got a new front opening up, and his shallows. So he's got to think quick. Yeah, he has some Mangudai ready at home. He's ready for this. But the more important loss will be of his castles. He needs those to produce his Mangudai. And I recently checked the Mangudai build speed. They take a long time to make. Like, you really need to keep your castles up. It's not like other sort of infantry elite units. Like you really need your castles to keep making Mangudai all game.
Look at this rally by Teal in Blue's base.
Yeah, they're holding. I hope they're target firing down these archers because they really need to take out those Genoese. These elephants are perfect in this fight, though. The only thing being, though, that the elite battle elephants of the melee are missing 2 armor upgrades. So, surprisingly, skirmishers are actually not quite as terrible, I think.
Yellow's Cavaliers entering Green's base, so Green's
Yep,
gonna
we
have to
have a quick wall coming in and holding the line here, but we've got scorpions, heavy scorpions for the Roman coming in, and this is a scary Roman push. Look at this: Dromans on the water, Cavalier in front, and then scorpions in the choke.
He managed to
yes.
wall it.
Yeah. So Mangudai, of course, will be able to take scorpions down quickly with their bonus damage. But in these chokes, they can't really ride around and avoid the shots from scorpions. So this is tough. This is going to be tough for Green to deal with. Meanwhile, Blue has go ahead.
I'm just going to say Green's still doing damage there in Purple's base, which is pretty impressive.
Where do you see it?
Oh, in Purple's base. So they're mostly dead now, but Green's.
Oh, okay.
Are you? I'm at 45. That's my time.
I'm at 46:27.
Oh, so you're a minute ahead of me. So
yeah,
Green had.
If you fast forward, you should get up to live.
Oh.
Yeah. So it looks like we've got Hussars now coming out for Green. He needs those. He needs to just ride down and deal with some of those scorpion shots. Meanwhile, lots of skirmishers for both Blue and Teal. Yeah, and they need a couple of pikes here. We've got bombards coming out for Blue. And yeah, both Purple and Blue are really low supply. They're both around 100. That surprises me. I was not surprised that Blue is low, but the fact that Purple is also low, that's surprising. Going really hard into that attack. Meanwhile, a big battle. We have the Cavalier from the Romans being cleared up on Green's front line. But the Dromans are still getting value, just launching catapult shots into Green's base. But Green is going to clear up these scorpions. This Hussar switch really helping out a lot.
What's your minute
these Dromans,
now, by the way?
I'm at 48:22.
There's no way for me to speed up. It doesn't just...
Oh, is there not? Oh, okay.
No, it just goes...
That's weird. Maybe you have like an intrinsic delay. Yep, more fights on the front with Blue and Teal. Purple coming in. These elephants still getting great value. Teal having to switch into winged hussars now because he just doesn't have the gold to sustain the constant Cavalier production, and sending Cavalier into elephants anyway is not a good idea. But the Blue is mixing in some pikemen, but they're just regular pikemen. And what is this upgrade? Oh, is that the that's a splash? Yeah, that's a splash damage on his winged hussars. So he's teched up into winged hussars. He's ready to just spam those all game. Meanwhile, Green now has and he lost the castle, so he's got to switch into heavy cavalry archers. He does so. He's getting a one more castle up, but for now he's got to just rely on archery ranges to make his ranged cavalry. But it really looks like the cold colors they are. It looks like they're pushing back. Oh no! Teal is losing his trebs here. He just sent them in, right-clicked them on a castle, and some elephants are going to clear these up. Oh, he's lost 3 out of 5. Man, this is deja vu. Like the game earlier today, we had somebody losing 5 trebs in some control failure as well. So that's unfortunate. So that's going to really slow down their rally. They've done such a good job of rallying and holding off. But they're going to stall now because they don't have siege to keep pushing.
I would say especially
Green has held his base.
Yeah, especially Green rallied really well there against Yellow.
Yep.
So Yellow might even lose
Green
his advanced base there and be pushed back.
Yep. Yeah. And what did the Romans do against this mass of... I mean, it was actually really good that he took out the castles because the Scorpions are actually... They'll be really good against the heavy cavalry archers. Not so much against the Mangudai, especially not in the open. But the fact that he's managed to take out a lot of those castles, means that it makes it a little easier for him to hold off against this massive ranged cavalry. He does need to deal with the last of the Mangudai and get those numbers down, but if he can do that, then yeah, just mass scorpions should work. So he's putting up a castle in the way, and meanwhile we have a big mass of cavalry archers coming in around the south, another castle coming up on that front.
I'll mention something quickly, which is that Team South is actually ahead in the score now, which is pretty amazing.
That's a really great rally. And we're still seeing Blue is still, Blue's at 48 workers. So
Green, he got into Yellow Seco. He got in.
Oh, he got in. It's just a palisade. Yeah, he didn't have it stonewalled. Oh, and he's scattering now. Nice castle cover from Yellow, but there still are plenty of weak spots. He's found a gap here. He's finding some farming economy here. Where are the wood choppers? Where are... Oh, they're all at the back. Okay, well... Oh, there's a big... Oh, man, if he rides around there and finds those... Yeah, this is difficult. Because Romans don't have good tools to deal with this. What do Romans... He hasn't teched into anything. He's got light cavalry. Meanwhile, now we've got Blue with full-on helps. So he's got enough helps. The elephant tech isn't going to work anymore. So we've got skirmisher. We've got basically just a bunch of trash. Winged hussars, skirms, and helps here. So we need to see a switch from the warm colors to see how they're going to deal with this. Because all these arbalists from red that are flooding in, those are also not going to... On their own, they can't hold the front. And Winged Hussars now riding through, but we've got some helps from purple as well. Winged Hussars raiding purple's base now. But this spread on the cavalry archers and yellow's base, this is brutal. Yep, yellow is struggling here. I mean, he could try to move his farming eco to under his castles, but they'll still be able to re-ranged. And now yellow is almost down to 100 supply. So he's been knocked down really hard. Yeah, we've got the over 100 gap in the worker supply now for the teams, all thanks to this. And Green's raiders have also found the early beginnings of a trade route that the warm colors were trying to put together on the land.
Guys, something I want to mention is that I'm noticing all the warm colors are below 200 population. So I hope it was clear to them that it was a 300 population game.
I'm sure it was. Yellow had 5 TCs. Like he knew it.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, I think he knew. But this is.
Yeah, it's been tough.
Yeah. But we have an interesting move here from purple. So he is trying to go for a YOLO castle to cut off these reinforcements that are going towards the front line. And since it's only trash, I mean. Look at this, Blue is coming and just right-clicking with villagers. He needs to get sappers. Does he have a castle? No, he doesn't have a castle. But yeah, so he's just right-clicking this castle that purple is trying to drop here. Will it go up? Yeah, it'll go up. But lots of pikemen. He's just flooding in pikemen as the melee. Yeah, and he can also get... he will actually have a nice edge if he gets his... This is melee. If he gets his upgrade to remove the gold cost from his swordsman, he actually will do really well in the trash wars. They just need to get their economy up. They need to max out, get up to like 180, 200 vills. Because they are really just struggling to keep up with the economy, especially with all these raids. They need to remass their vills.
I'm starting to wonder if red's going to drop a wonder because it's looking a bit tough there for yellow.
Yep. Yeah, and Teal has also redirected some winged hussars to go just start chewing at these walls and try to find a way in. Meanwhile, Green is he's now dropping castles again, so he's going to have his Mangudai production up from that space between yellow and green's base. This yellow castle slowly coming up, and meanwhile, I mean. Blue's old base is just a wasteland now, but they've reclaimed it, the cold colors. So a bit of a stalemate here, just lots of trash on both sides. Well, actually, no, the red side has a mix of skirmishers and arbalists, which is enough firepower to take down most of this trash. The winged hussars might get some chip damage in as they run in, but they will usually, unless there's a good enough mass, they will all get picked off. And in the meantime, and so that's what Purple's focusing on right now. He actually did get this castle up. He's flooding in halves. He's got a couple of elephants coming in as well. Elite battle elephants coming in. And this is now an interesting position because the Cold Colors, they lost those 5 trebs, and that was it. Those are the only trebs I've seen. I don't think they've made new ones since. And meanwhile, Purple is sieging down some of their castles. So this is a nice little outpost that Purple has established here, cutting off some reinforcements.
Hey, can I just
And
say
meanwhile,
that
Yellow has stabilized. Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
just to say that I don't know. I know I'm a little bit behind here. I'm trying to get speeded up, but I do see that Teal does have some trebs. Oh, as I'm saying this, I think they're just about to be destroyed. He did have some trebs in front of Purple's base, but yeah. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I must have lost them.
Yeah.
Impressive castles though from Fenris in the middle
Yep.
there.
Yeah, that's gonna. Yeah, he's probably hoarding his stone and just like making sure that he could secure a better position. And notice these are far away from water. He's not gonna get caught by these Dromons again. I don't even know if those Dromons are still kicking around somewhere. Yeah, they are. So they're coming up the river again. I think they're gonna go looking for those castles. And we had an attempted castle dropped from, I think it might have been blue, but those are not going to. That didn't. We've got some cannons from red that are preventing that from going down. And meanwhile, all the infrastructure that was built up by the warm colors in blue side of the map is being slowly cleared up. So that front has stabilized. And we've got another raid coming in from the north. How did green get in?
Yeah, he snuck in because the top entrance is not walled up.
Oh, he waited for a trade card.
Actually,
no.
Actually, I'm just seeing it. There's actually a hole in the wall there. He just shot his way through. He just shot his way through. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, Yellow. And Yellow has not been massing villagers. He's been just hanging at 100. He has 5 town centers. I don't know why he didn't just like mash that villager button. But he's got some cavalry here. He'll probably be able to stabilize. It's just really annoying because he's going to lose more vills. He's already lost 10. He's still going to lose more. And the other fronts are stabilized, and yeah, the Cold Colors have done a really great job stabilizing in this game and sort of taking back lost territory and now raiding. And we've got another big raid from green coming in. The Mongols are at it again, and right smack dab in the middle of red space.
Yeah, that's what I was actually saying
chewing
earlier.
up this farming economy.
Yeah. That's what I was mentioning earlier. They snuck in from I think it was the top, or it was came to the front gate, and unfortunately, red is their strongest player. So this is unfortunate for Team North.
And red is also down to 100 vills. So we've got 42 vills from. Hold on a second. Blue is at 42 vills. So he's not really doing the vill thing anymore. He's just making pikes. That's kind of his thing now. But we've got over 200 for both teal and green. And meanwhile, we've got less than 100. Red is down to 85. These raids are just doing work. We've got just these scatterings of cavalry all over the place doing damage, and this is so hard to deal with. We've got this gold pile at the back, 2 hussars that are going to slowly kill all of those villagers.
Here's a question for you. What do you think the North team can do now to stop the tide?
They've got to try to wall up and actually put some stone walls up and just remax as fast as they can before the siege comes in. They don't have a lot of time, and actually, just as I say that, we've got drill battering rams from Fenris now making their way across the map. I think it's too late.
I don't know if you saw this, because I think it's ahead, but I'm seeing that a bunch of yellow villagers are standing in the gate. They just finished the wall, and they opened the gate for green.
Yeah, and this is that's what happened when they came in. Because part of the damage of raids is it's not just killing the villagers. It's not just idling them. It's the fact that with all that's going on, it's hard to send them back to work, and you forget Yellow has loads of idols. He's got, I think, 21 idols that aren't working, so he's already behind. And now we've got these drill siege rams coming through. So Purple's base is about to get flattened. as long as green is bringing troops to protect the rams against the pikes, the warm colors are now in dire straits. And I was going to mention that the cold colors, they don't have the best choice as far as a trade route goes, but it doesn't look like the game is going to go long enough for that to matter, because we've got just this Mongol doom push coming across the map. And purple's pikes will be good against the light cav in front, but they need something else in back. But these winged hussars from teal, they're also coming through, and they've been dealing with any of the other troops over there. So purple he's fresh out of army. He's got no troops. Yellow has been pushed back, and I think so purple's backed out, and that's it. There's the GG. Wow, what a great game. What a great comeback from the cold colors. That was really impressive from all the players, though.
Yeah, absolute wild comeback, I would say.
Yeah, we saw a very clear game plan from everyone involved. Purple coming in with the early elephants, red following up with the archers and putting some serious pressure on blue. I mean, blue capitulated to the pressure. He never really boomed back up. He's stuck at like 50 vills for most of the game, and he was just trying to get as many troops out as he could. Yeah, I think we've got the players coming in to... post game. Great game, guys. Wow. Do you guys have any comments?
Yeah, no clue how we won that. That was ridiculous. Like, we shouldn't have won that game. I made so many mistakes early in the game. Like, in Feudal Age, I clicked all of my villagers onto gold accidentally. And then Castle Age, I just dropped the ball big time. But that was crazy how we won that.
Yeah, well, you were reinforcing, just sending something to try to help blue against those elephants.
Yeah. I don't think the other team is in.
I don't think they're here yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Nibble, you're on mute, by the way.
Nibble, if you're talking, you're
on
mute.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, won't be able to say too much. Yeah. Great game, guys. Amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, that I actually really I want HMD to come in here. I wanted to mention the very Roman push that he did against you with Romans on the water and Cavalier Scorpions.
Yeah.
That was really cool to see.
Yep.
Do you think do you know if they're hold on. Let's just here. I'm gonna have a quick look at the stats while we wait. See if they're coming.
Okay. We didn't even end up having that much trade.
Yeah,
only had 1,100.
That much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're not. Okay, it doesn't look like they're
okay.
in chat, so they're heading off.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
That was a crazy game. I was sweating for most of that, I feel like.
Yeah.
But I finally had a game with the Mangadai, which was fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finally had a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were.
Izuru.
Oh yeah, I think Izuru. He wasn't talking much during our game, but that's okay.
Yeah, and it's I mean, Blue's position was really difficult. He had like this really bad health around him.
Oh, I see that. Yeah. I feel like the positioning was like the team positioning was actually pretty balanced because 2 on water, 1 on land for both teams.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we did lose the water, but
and that actually it looked pretty dire for a while. They
it looked really bad.
That like water advantage to push down. But those raids just it's so much work because yellow was the powerhouse. Yellow did like teal did a 5 TC boom.
Yep, I saw that and I was so scared because I had like 2 TC castle. It was not like I knew I was behind economically.
When you went in with those Mangadai, he was 40 vills ahead of you, so you had to kill 40 vills just to make parity. I do have to say though. Really unlucky for yellow that there was that perfect gap next to the edge of the map for your manga. The first raid that went through.
Oh, I see that. Yeah.
That's a typical Age of Empires 2 thing. Just Age
Yeah.
of Empires 2 life, tiny little gap. It's
That's
not the worst
why.
gap I've ever seen, but it's still pretty.
Yeah. That's why I like to when I think I'm done walling off, I just right click a bill across to see if it's still going. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like, if I'm finished building the wall, if I right click on the other side of the wall, if it goes away, like towards the other direction, then I know it's walled off. But
yeah, exactly. Right click in that direction and see which way they go.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like it's a part of the game, but it's also like if that one little thing hadn't been that way, things would have been pretty different.
Yeah, they would have. I would have had to go to like red or something because everyone walled palisades, so I just shot through them and ran through.
That's one of the things they didn't reinforce with. I mean, Yellow had started. He had a couple of his front lines. He'd switched to stone walls, but not all of it. I think. I guess it just felt safe where he had his production buildings because you kind of don't think about those. Those look thick, but actually he plugged some of those gaps with palisades. Right, yeah. Yeah, that was wild. I mean, when I had that good engagement on my turf, that kind of opened up the middle of the map for Andrew and I to scoop up some of those resources. Yeah. And build some forward production. And then Andrew sent me a ton of stone, which was really nice because I lost both my castles in that attack from Yellow. So yeah, I was wondering. I just assumed you'd been mining it and just hoarding it and waiting for a good chance to drop them. But that makes sense with this many that you got sent some stone. Yeah. And it makes sense too because poles. I mean, yeah, they can go Obu if they really want to, but it's much better, I think, on a Mongol.
If I could say one thing, it would be that Team South did a really great job of walling off, and the way you pushed back Yellow Fenris was really amazing. And then the way Team North, I mean, played really well, but unfortunately didn't completely wall off, and that opened them up to the rating. So yeah, that might have made the difference. But good job to both teams. I think it was a really close game. Yeah, it was a really good game, and one of the thing is like, it's really hard to do this, obviously, but like. Remassing up villagers after you've been raided is so important. And Yellow had like 5 TCs, and he was down to 100 vils after one of your raids, and he managed to stabilize. But then like 5 minutes later, he was still at 100 vils. And I think that kind of thing that is the reason why he didn't have the mass to hold off later. Yeah, but still, like great game. I loved Yellow's Roman push. Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, it's just the Dromans on the wall. I loved that. Was so great. And against the Mongols, especially taking out the castles, that is so smart. Yep. Because then I mean, we didn't end up seeing it, but I was just thinking like, it's too bad we can't chat with them right now. But the Romans can make scorpions, and the scorpions. Like they'll do okay against the Mangudai, but the Mangudai can actually like ride around and get that bonus damage in the open. Oh yeah, I forgot. But cavalry archers cannot. Cavalry archers will scorpions. So I was just wondered if that was sort of how he was thinking his way through that. And then of course we had like heavy ranged from the Italian. Those are scary. Because I knew my raids would have been generally weaker against red because. Well, first, there's a lot of castles everywhere, and I know that any Genoese crossbowmen that come out are going to do really well against the Hussars and Mangudai. And it was also scary too in like early Castle Age. Like, I didn't look up much of the other side of the map, but when I did look, I just saw purple elephants, and I was like, "Oh right, Malay elephants, cheap elephants on the way to blue," and that was scary. Yep. Yeah, it was never like the answer was never great. It was like. Knights and skirmishers and a couple of pikemen. The pikemen were the best thing in there, but like it was basically just enough mass to deal with them. But then once you ran into Red's like massive range, like the knights all yeah. True, yeah, especially Genoese crossbowmen, right? That's tough. Yeah. Well, GG guys, that was really good. Great game, guys. Yep. And so what does that Nebel, what does that now mean for the teams and their position in the tournament? I'll just mention quickly, it means that Team Rupinfish has placed first in the group because they won all their games, and but the second spot is still up for grabs, so we'll see who takes the second place. Okay. Awesome. All right. Nice. Well,
great game, guys. Thank you very
Yeah,
much,
GGs.
and good luck in the next ones.
Good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Good
Good
one.
luck. Cheers.
See ya.
Everyone.